All right, we're back with the Fox News Alert now. One of America's most infamous inmates, OJ Simpson, scheduled to appear before a parole board in Nevada today, a hearing that will decide whether he walks out of jail October 1st a free man. He spent more than 8 years in Nevada prison for armed robbery and assault with a weapon for trying to take back his own sports memorabilia. This after Simpson was acquitted of murder in 1995 and was called the trial of the century. So will the 70-year-old now be a free man, and what will he do next? Alan Dershowitz was a member of OJ Simpson's legal defense team. He's also a Harvard Law professor and also a lifelong Democrat. Professor, your thoughts about your former client getting out?
He should get out. He got a tenfold increase in his sentence because of what he was believed to have done in California. Under the rule of law, which I've been pushing right from the beginning here, under the rule of law, you can't punish a person twice once he's been acquitted for a crime. Americans have the right to believe whatever they want to believe about O.J. Simpson, and many believe he was guilty and got away with murder, but that shouldn't have been a factor in this crime, for which most people would get a 3-year sentence, not a 30-year sentence.
Right, so he gets out October 2nd. He's going to have a lot of opportunities. The documentary and miniseries gave him a new birth of fame, and people in many corners believe that he has now served some time for what he did. Does anything he earns go to the Goldman or Brown family? Will he do anything?
Well, first, yes. There was a civil jury that found him liable, and he owes the Brown family whatever, and the other family, the Goldman family, whatever he earns. But if he's smart, if he asks me for my advice, I say, OJ, stay out of public view. When I represented Klaus von Bülow and he was acquitted of a murder an attempted murder that some people thought he was guilty of, my advice to him was stay out of the public view. He did, and he's had a wonderful, wonderful life. OJ has to follow that advice.
I want to get you some other advice, and I think the President of the United States really respects your advice, and from whenever he can get it, directly or indirectly. So yesterday, he sits down for 50 minutes with the New York Times, and he talks to Peter Baker, Maggie Haberman, and Michael Schmidt, three people that write a lot of negative things about him. And in that, he takes on James Comey, said he was using that dossier as leverage, he believes, against him, and Robert Mueller kind of warning him, you better not get into my family finances. That has nothing to do with Russia, and also gives a shot across the bow to his Attorney General, saying you never should have recused yourself. What does this story do? It
certainly doesn't help Donald Trump. Look, Bill Clinton hated Janet Reno, was very strongly
opposed. His own Attorney General.
His own Attorney General. You know, tensions between presidents and Attorney Generals are not unusual. The job of the Attorney General is to keep the president doing things lawfully. And they almost always had different views about what's lawful and what's unlawful. But President Clinton didn't let that be known to anybody publicly. He just stewed, whereas this president insists on letting everybody hear whatever he believes. I don't think it helps him. I mean, I think it's intended to be a deterrent, to say to Mueller, and he's right on the merits about this, Mueller ought to stick to what his mandate is. We've seen this in the past. The president is appointed to look at Clinton, to look at Whitewater, ends up with some sexual allegations. And
I mean, the word, he's looking at Deutsche Bank now because he did a lot of financing Trump properties, and Donald Trump saying this and saying, you got to be kidding me. How did this happen? It started when my Attorney General recused himself.
That's the problem of special prosecutors. It's like Ahab and the whale in Moby Dick. You have a target. You're going to get him no matter what it does. If a special prosecutor finishes his or her investigation and says, I've come up with nothing, the American public feel they've wasted their money. So they always have to come up with something. That's why many liberals traditionally have been opposed to the appointment of special counsels.
And by the way, we have done a wrong to Alan Dershowitz. He asked for one thing, decaf coffee. We did not have that.
And the reason you have such high ratings is because your competitors serve decaf coffee, and you make us come in here caffeinated.
We give you no choice.
No choice.
And now he's going to be up all night.
At least all day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
It's going to be an exciting time. All this stuff going on, and your expertise invaluable to us, maybe not the New York Times.